Раз-раз. Раз-раз. Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три, четыре. Ну шо, мы в деле. Может быть, даже чувствительность микрофона чуть поменьше сделать. Потому что он прям передо мной. Ну все, мы вещаем. Раз-два, раз-два. Солнышко выглянуло. Как я выгляжу? Нормально. Так вот, сделаем. Ну, можно начинать труд, получается. 9:01. Труд, труд. Начинаем труд. Труд, трудяга, трудяги, трудящиеся. Трудятся. П, 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 п. Привет, привет, привет. Ну, немножечко пропадает голос при начале теперь из-за того, что вот эти все эффекты выставлены. Ну, на самом деле не все так плохо. Пойдет. Нормально, нормально, нормально. Но мышка будет класть на фоне, да и похер. Теперь включаем это. Уменьшаем громкость. На стриме слышно. Так. Что ни хера не слышно. Чему? Эй, подожди. Где музыка на стриме? Где? Теперь есть? Нет. Вообще заорет. Ничего не происходит, блин. Раз, два, три. Раз, два. Раз, два, три, раз, два, три, раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Хуй, хуй, хуй. Члены, 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 члены. Раз. Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Всем привет, всем привет. Добрый день, добрый вечер. Проверка микрофона. Ну нормально, стримить можно, думаю. Главное не дышать в микрофон, чтобы музыка не обрывала все время. Раз, раз. Раз. Раз, два, три, четыре, раз, два, три, четыре. Ну, я думаю, что так нормально. Музычка будет обрезаться, а мы по дыханию тут не будут обрезать. Вот сейчас буду дышать. Да, офигенно. Мне нравится. Супер. One, one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, everyone. This is the first translation, and we are starting. So, looks like sound is normal, everything is normal, chat is working. Alright, I guess we can start. So 9:51 on the clock, 14th October 2022, and we are starting our first educating stream for me personally. So I guess some of you, if somebody is watching this, already saw my introduction video. So I explained there why I started this channel, what is the goals and missions of this channel. So we will just act accordingly, and I just wanna meet you up with our today's schedule. I mean, today is only the first day, but today is the first day, and maybe we will not follow all this articles which are mentioned here in this list, but we'll see. Yeah, today is a little bit improvised schedule. So what we had initially, let's check. So our main priorities up to Friday is learning some Blender, editing, art and business. Yeah, a very enthusiastic list, but I guess today we will just chill, just for general understanding. I will just read all these articles in the list just to refresh even myself, because I'm not really familiar with all these points which are mentioned here, because I made this list maybe a month ago, and after this I didn't open it at all. So okay, waking up, bath, breakfast, done. 10 AM starting stream. So up to now we have 9:53 AM. So we a little bit ahead of our schedule, but it's fine. And from 10 to 11 we have 1 hour of studying. Yeah. But for now I'm still not sure what I need to start with, so we will figure out in real time. So 11 AM stop studying, 15 minutes break, news check. Of course, it's very important, because nowadays the news are updating almost every hour I didn't check the news since the last evening, but I guess it's already a lot of actions happened in the world, so we'll check it for 15 minutes, and after this we continue studying for 1 hour up to 12:15. After this we have again 15 minutes break, and at 12:30 we start again our studying process until 1:30 p.m. After this we have dinner break for 1 hour, and at 2:30 we start studying again for 1 hour up to 3:30, and after this again 15 minutes break, and at 50:45 we start again studying for 1 hour until 16:45. Again 15 minutes break. I mean, these small breaks are really important, because if you start without any breaks, it can be really exhausting for you. So I think it's a really good practice to make such small breaks, just to make your brains give your brains a little bit of rest. So, and at 5 p.m. we start studying again for 1 hour up to 6 p.m. After this 15 minutes break, and 6 it's 18, and studying again. I mean, this is the the best scenario which we can have during the day. Starting process at 10 o'clock a.m. and up to 19:15. So it's 9 hours of studying, of course with some breaks. Yeah, but it's quite a lot. I'm not sure if I'm able to study for such long time today. Anyway, we have only like introduction stream today, so I guess I will just make myself a little bit used to all this new environment because it's actually my first stream ever. I never streamed before, and all this environment is really new for me, and I just want to make myself a little bit more comfortable with all the circumstances which surround me right now. Yeah, so something like this. Yeah, so the plan's supposed to be like this. But I will act according to my inner feelings and my inner readiness to study. I mean, as of now I feel myself quite okay, but I don't really know what I want to start from. Blender. I guess we can start with Blender. Yeah, alright. So let's check what we need for this. For this we need forgot. I want to make a new scene for the new window, but for some reason it's not opening. Right. Sorry, just some technical issues. I wanted to make sure that everything works fine. YouTube. Sorry, maybe sometimes I will not check the chat, because usually it's how we call this, it's minimized. I don't know, Blender Guru. For example. And we open new scene. Alright. This one we doesn't need. This one we need to rename. Also I need to add my pretty young face. Just kidding. And we need to add some sound, because it's always better to study with a good sound, right? So yeah, that's what we have. I guess we can make like this, even like this, and like this. We'll see. I guess it's fine. Yeah, and I also might change some settings. So it will be 0. 0 is Google Chrome. What if I do like this? Alright, now it's not working. Okay. Alright. So Blender Guru. Let me just check one more thing. Just want to check if I stop the music like this, it will be also stopped everywhere, right? Yeah. And now I'm interested, what if I start some of the videos? How to make a hologram in Blender in 50 minutes.
hologram that can form any shape, text, or object you want. And we're going to do it entirely using the free open source software Blender. Stick around to the end to see the final animation. With a brand new scene opened up, go to the Geometry Nodes tab and just close the spreadsheet so that we've got more room to work with. Now on my default cube here, I'm going to click New and then sever the connection so that we can replace it with some new geometry. And that geometry is a...
And if I stop the video... All right. So when we are watching some video, better if we stop the music like this, like this. And now we're ready. Yeah, now we're ready. I'm just checking the stream. All right, I guess it's fine. All right, why not? Let's just watch the video. Let's get in. I mean, I think it will be better if we also start Blender, so we can actually at least check somehow some features which are shown in the video. Anyway, let's get started, and after this we will see what to do next, right? Okay, here is our cube, little cube. Let's check if Blender sheet it's actually working. Let me just check on the stream. Yeah, it's working. All right, now we get back to the Chrome. I mean, I guess I can do as of now like this, right? So you will just see my screen. So I will not need to change the scene every time. Yeah, all right, so we apply the sound and we start.
Grid. We're going to make this procedural hologram that can form any shape, text, or object you want. And we're going to do it entirely using the free open source software Blender. Stick around to the end to see the final animation. With a brand new scene opened up, go to the Geometry Nodes tab and just close the spreadsheet so that we've got more room to work with.
All right. Geometry Nodes tab. Remove this shit so we have more space. That's easy.
Now on my default cube here, I'm going to click New and then sever the connection so that we can replace it with some new geometry. And that geometry is a grid. And the reason we're starting with a grid is that we're essentially going to be creating a point in which little tiny pixels can appear. And this grid, most importantly, has subdivision controls, which will come in handy later as this is going to become the resolution of our hologram. Firstly though,
interesting. Alright, we click New, how to cut, I don't remember. Alright, like this. And after this we add how to add Shift A, mesh. What did he choose? Grid. Where's grid? Grid. So we connect. Now we have our, how did he change this parameter? Alt Z. No, not Alt Z. How did he change? How did he change? How did he make it like a transparent? Alright, now I see. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, we can change the grid. It's really useful actually. Alright.
Hologram is not 2D. Its key factor is that it is 3D. So we want to create volumetric pixels. So I need to essentially create an array modifier to make the grid go up multiple times. Now, Geometry Nodes doesn't have an array function, but it is very easy to create one. If I just type into search mesh line and connect this up.
Wait. I also need to type search. So to F3. Oh no. What did I make? No. No. How to get back? How to get back? I don't need this material. Shit. Add. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. White material now. I don't need this. Geometry nodes. That. Wait. Okay, this is really important to understand how this works. How to return to this menu? Click. But this is not my finger, right? Use nodes. Okay, yeah, now it's add input. No, this is not it. Cube. Modifier. Okay, let's check again. Geometry nodes. So I need to change to geometry nodes somehow. Yeah, here. No, yeah, this is it. All right. So we add grid again. Yeah, here. Let's go with type. And we need to type mesh line. Mesh line. Actually, think that it's better with some music. Okay, we connect this one here. It creates this line. What's next?
You can see it's just created a straight line, but it's also got a number of vertices along it, which is our count. Now, if I add in a instance on points, connect that after it, and then take my grid and plug that into the instance, you can see that each one of those vertices of the line has created an instance of a plane, which is essentially an array modifier. And I've got the same.
All right, wait. What did he choose? Instance on points. Instance on points. All right. So, yeah, I use this. This one I put here. Now we have also our grid, just like in the video. What's next?
And plug that into the instance, you can see that each one of those vertices of the line has created an instance of a plane, which is essentially an array modifier. And I've got the same controls here. I can choose the number of them, just like I would an array modifier. Now is also a good time to set the real world scale of your hologram. It can obviously be whatever scale you want. I'm going to go for a relatively small, portable sized hologram of the future of only 20 by 20 centimeters deep. And I'll just adjust the gap between this so that we've got a little bit more pixels along the vertical. We can obviously adjust this later, but just getting it set up as best we can. Now to create pixels wherever there is a vertex, it's very easy.
Alright, let's just make the same, just to understand how the process is working. So now they are more near to each other, which is just easier to see. Okay, let's just make like this. Count, let's just make it a little bit more. I don't know, 32. The size 0.2 meters, and vertices, I mean, going to again to change this that z parameter. Start 0.1. Maybe it's too much. Okay, we can make 0.1, right? Let me add. Alright. No. No. How did I make this? Yeah, like this. Maybe we can make like 0.8. No, too much. 0.3. Okay, for example, 0.3. Now we can add some vertices, I guess. Okay, next. What next?
If I just duplicate my instance on point and then put it straight after it, it's now going to look at that whole mesh array, and wherever there was a vertex, it's going to treat that as a point and put whatever geometry we want there. So right in here where it's got instance, drag this out and then type in icosphere. It's now done exactly what we wanted, but
stop. Icosphere. This one we copy. I mean, Shift D. This one we put here, icosphere, and we put it in the instance. Oh god, is it supposed to be like this? What's next?
But the icospheres are a little bit too big, so I'm going to turn that down to a relatively small size, and you can see it.
Step radius 0.1. Alright, now we have a bunch of icospheres in here, this cubic form.
It's done exactly what we wanted. Each one of those vertices in our original plane there has become its own little tiny icosphere, which also means I can change the resolution of my hologram by adjusting the vertices or the count.
Wow.
And most importantly, this is non-destructive, so I can adjust all these parameters later. So we've got a lot of pixels, but I only want the pixels to appear wherever there is an object. So first of all, I need an object. It can be whatever object you want. I'm going to make mine a donut because I am raising money for Blender. On October 3rd, which is in a few days, the Baker's Dozen is launching on Foundation. One donut will be auctioned off every 13 days, and then all that money is going to Blender. This hologram is one of the donuts. If you want to see the other 12, then click the link in the description. Provided our object is somewhere inside of this volume, we should be good to go. So in our setup, before it becomes an icosphere, I want to manipulate these points. Now we could technically do our selection right in here, but I want to use it again later on for the light beams. So I need to add in a new node, which is a mesh to points node. Drop this in here. And this is just going to essentially enable us to sort of mask.
Let me just trim the stream. Okay, it's fine.
Out which
let's
pixels
continue.
we want because it's got a selection input. So first I need to drag my torus down so that it appears in my geometry nodes, then drag out of the geometry output, release, and type in proximity. So the geometry proximity node is a relatively new node which enables you to have objects interacting with each other. And to the point, I'm going to take my distance output of this and put this into my selection of my mesh to points node. Now this node is always a little bit confusing because whenever you...
Alright, so we create torus. We make it smaller. How? No, like... no. S to make it smaller. You can also resize it. I don't know. They just make something like this. Is it the torus? Looks like some piece of crap. I mean, I guess it's fine. Whatever. Go here. Where are my arrows? Arrows. Move. Up. Right, we're in. We are actually in. I guess we can make it a little bit bigger. Something like this. And we can... What else we can? We can rotate it a little bit. It's hard to find it now, but I guess it's fine. A little bit smaller, yeah. Actually, this one on it, we can just click R. Okay, our torus will be like this. I mean, this one also should be adjusted, right? I already skipped this part. Let's see what he did. How did he make this such a small
tiny icosphere, which also means I can change the resolution of my hologram by which also means the original plane there has become its own.
Okay, let's make this shit smaller and no vertices. How did he choose both? Up.
Little tiny icon of those vertices in our original plane there has become its own little tiny icosphere, which also means I can change the resolution of my hologram by adjusting the vertices.
How did he choose both? Just alright. Oh my god. I'm lagging. How much did he make? 34? Let's just make 34 also. Let's make 50, and let's change the Z scale. I don't know, wait, not this one, Hmm. I don't remember this one. Okay. If we put another 0 and make it more. I guess it's supposed to look something like this. Maybe it's too much. Okay, let's make 35. I mean, his figure looks much better. Let's try another number. I don't know, 0.15. Oh my god. Let's make it less. Less. Yeah. Something like this. Yeah, now much better. Here is our torus. Okay, good. What we did next is make this torus,
but I want to point which pixels we want because it's got, and so I need to add in a new node which is a
mesh to points. Mesh to points. Okay, this one we move. This one we put
mesh to points node. Drop this in here.
Drop this in here. Dropping. Alright.
And this is just going to essentially enable us to sort of mask out which pixels we want because it's got a selection input. So first I need to drag my torus down. So
yeah, okay. We're dragging. Shit. Why it's like this? Ah, okay. Dragging.
So that it appears in my geometry nodes. Then drag out of the geometry output, release, and type in proximity. So the geometry proximity node is a relative.
Proximity. And I guess it goes in the selection.
Relatively new node, which enables you to have objects interacting with each other. And to the point, I'm going to take my distance output of this and put this into my selection of my mesh to points node. Now this node is always a little bit confusing because whenever you connect it, you go, nothing is happening. And that's because there's not really a threshold value.
Wait. Distance selection. Yeah, nothing happens.
Value in our geometry proximity node to specify how far is it going to look outside of the mesh. So by default, it's just looking everywhere. So it's turned on all of the pixels. So to specify it, what we need to do is add another node, Shift A, Utilities, Math, drop this in here between that connection, and then set this to less than.
All right. Utilities, Math, less than. And
so this is now going to be the threshold for which.
Why my figure disappeared? Distance value selection. All the same, right?
And then set this to less than. So this is now going to be the threshold for which it's going to start to look.
Why it's not working for me like this? Where is the cube? Why it's so small? Why it's so small? Where is it?
Look for pixel, then math. Specify default, it's just looking to something is happening. Mesh to points node. Now this node is always a little bit confusing because whenever you connect it, you go, nothing is happening. And that's because there's not really a threshold value in our geometry proximity node to specify how far is it going to look out.
I mean, it's all the same. Alright. Alright. So we just need to change the threshold
Side of the mesh. So by default, it's just looking everywhere. So it's turned on all of the pixels. So to specify it, what we need to do is add another node, Shift A, Utilities, Math, drop this in here between that connection, for which it's going to start to look for pixels and make them appear. And I have to drop this really low in order to see anything. There we go. So something is happening, but not what we wanted. And that's for a couple of reasons. But the first reason is that it's currently just treating each point sort of independently, acting independently, when really we want them to treat all of the points as a whole. So that's where you need the node that very few people really know what it does, but you use it all the time. And that is the Realize Instances node. Drop
Realize instances. Now I also know. Realize. I guess it's the same. Where we put it? Like this, right? And nothing changes. Brilliant.
Drop this in here, and now it is working. But it's putting the donut at the bottom there. And that's because by default, it's brought it in as the original location, which I guess means the global coordinates before we did transformations. So set it to relative, and now the pixels are finally
relative. And nothing changes. Brilliant. What did I do wrong? Just tell me. Geometry. Same, right? It's not working. Realize instances. I don't know. Okay, what's next?
here, and now it is working. But it's putting the donut.
It's not working. It's not working. Okay, let's make it 0.1. Alright. So we just needed to make it much less number. If we put 0.5, alright. 0.10. 0.10. 0.1. 0.5. I guess it's enough. Okay, let's see what's next.
At the bottom there, and that's because by default it's brought it in as the original to relative, and now the pixels are finally appearing where we want them to. If I want more pixels, if it's not finding enough of them, I could just increase the threshold, but generally you don't want the pixels to be straying too far outside from where your mesh is. So we can play with this later, but first
let me a little bit adjust. I know 1. I guess it's enough. We will see.
First, I'm going to make this look good. So I'm going to go to the rendered view mode, and I am going to stick to the Eevee render engine, which is great.
Yes. Really great. Eevee. But why my Eevee looks like shit and his Eevee is great? Hmm?
because that means it'll render really quick.
Why my Eevee looks like shit? Ah, because I have no light. How do I add light? Light prop? Light? Point? Alright. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, for example, like this. I mean, it's quite near, but anyway. It's fine.
Quickly, and I'm going to make the background black, and my Taurus
I make a background black. Okay, next.
I don't want it to appear in a render, so I'm going to disable that. And underneath viewport display, I want to set it to only display as max as a wireframe inside.
I mean, it's all so interesting. Sometimes I'm just shocked by how to say it. How strange can be the way to make the final result. So to make it look like a hologram, we need to remove it from the render at all and just leave this cubes. Very strange. Right, what did he point display? Point display. Wire. I actually have no idea how this function work and for what, but I'm just doing what he says. And for some reason he has much more options here. Why I have only this? I mean, sorry. Did I make it for the light? I need to make it for the Taurus. Wired. Yeah. Okay. Now it makes sense.
My viewport. So that means that I can still manipulate it, move it around, but it's not going to interfere with the hologram appearance. Now, let's make these pixels glow. So go to the materials panel, change the surface to emission, and we...
Material. Surface. What? Surface emission. Alright.
can't see anything. And that's because when we added in this icosphere mesh, it's technically sort of existing in an unassigned state. So after instance on points, add in a material set material, and then set it to that material that we've just created.
Material set material. Material set material. And add material which we just created. Which one? Which one is this material? I didn't create new material, right? How to create new material for the cube? Help. Help. World. Is this the one which I need? I cannot understand. Wait. Material 5. This one. Is it any? I mean, it's not even visible. Is it okay? Cube. Where is our cube? Let's just stick to the cube.
I'm going to call this pixels.
I'm also call this pixels. Pixels.
Set the color to blue.
Alright. How? How I change the color? Preview? No. Surface? Volume setting? How did he change the color? I'm sorry. Okay. How did he change the color? Should be just like color, but it's not here. Oh, alright, color. Saturation. Blue. Is it blue? I mean, I don't know. Am I doing right? Oh, I'm sorry. Pixels. No, he changed somehow in the material. Emission. Why I don't have it? Cube. Material. Use nodes. Ah, alright. Base color. Blue. Next.
To that material that we've just created. I'm going to call this pixels. Set the color to blue because of course everything in the future is blue. And then underneath
Strength 10. Why? How did he change it? I can see this parameter here. Why he has the parameters which I don't have? I guess we have the same version. Emission color, strength. But I just don't have these parameters. Use nodes. I mean, anyway, I changed the strength in here. I guess it's the same. It's look bluish enough.
set the color to blue because of course everything in the future is blue. And then underneath render properties, my favorite button, blue.
Wait. Oh wow. Scene render properties. Scene. TV icon. Render properties. Bloom. And it's not working. Why? Bloom. Why? Shit. What did I do wrong? I made all the same, right? But no changes. I have no idea. Why it's not working?
Boom, haha, magic. Now it's looking a little chunky at the moment, little low. Boom, haha. In the future is blue, and then underneath render properties, my favorite button, bloom, haha, magic. Now it's looking a little chunky.
Okay, wait. It's not blooming. Why? Here is the material. I mean, I don't know why it's look a little bit other way than in his program, but I guess I made all the same. No, it's the world, right? Why I don't have such regulator here? Strange. Very strange. Material. How can I add material? Maybe I can add new material and it will work fine. Cube. New maps, blah blah blah. New material. Nothing changes. How many materials I already have? Pixels. Nothing changes. I have no bloom. I wanted this bloom effect. What did I do wrong? Okay, let's come back.
So that means that I can still manipulate it, move it around, but it's not going to interfere with the hologram appearance. Now let's make these pixels glow. So go to the materials panel, change the surface to emission, and we can't see anything. And that's because when we add
Cube. Change the surface to emission. Emission. Wait. See, he has different appearance of this menu. Why? Cannot understand why. Use nodes, no. Backface. Pixels. What if I add new material? Okay, here it looks normal. What if I delete this material here? Alright, new. Okay, now it's... I don't know what's just happened, but... Okay. I guess I made something wrong. And we add the strength. I don't know, 10? Is that enough? Material 06. Now we have the bloom. Look at that. And how can we change? Camp intensity. Color is okay. Radius. Knee. What is knee? I don't know. I cannot see any difference. Threshold. Alright. Yeah, now it's blooming. It's nice. Okay, we found it.
Rent fifth.
That's
looking to.
That's how we
so
study.
I'm gonna drop that because we've built this. Now it's looking a little chunky. Favorite button, bloom. Haha, magic. Yeah. Now it's looking a little chunky at the moment, little low res, but because we've built this non-destructively, it is very easy to adjust. So I'm gonna drop the size of each pixel by a fifth, like that.
Okay, icosphere. Let's reduce as well by fifth.
And I can increase the resolution of the X and Y by increasing the vertices.
All right. Okay, wait. Wow. Why it looks like this? Very strange. Very strange. Very strange looking donut. But if you look at it like under this angle, it looks fine. But if you look under this, it just looks like some strange thing. Okay, what's next?
Sees X and Y there. I can also see that it's looking too far outside of my donut. So I've got like this kind of like this thick area. So I'm going to drop my threshold a little bit like that. That looks a little
Alright, threshold, this one. Let's make 0.5. Let's make 0.1. But it's not blooming anymore. 0.3. Yeah, I guess it's better. I mean,
closer.
maybe.
That's good. And this part, the distance between the Z there, that's really up to you. Like, I mean, obviously if you wanted it to look kind of like, you know, like the same gap as there is along.
Alright, so now, yeah, we can change this Z. And now we change the count. I mean, I guess I made it too much. My PC is already lagging. Okay, we have 4. Let's reduce this count. It's too much. Let's make 100. How did he change 0.1 to 30? Let's make same. 0.1. 300. Alright. Yeah, but I can feel like my PC will blow up now. Let's make 5. Yeah, now it's much better. Let's make 4. Yeah, that's it. I guess that's it. If we make 200, same, 100, same, 10, nothing, 50, just a half. So 100 is more than enough. After this, it just build up in the top, in the area which is not visible, so we don't need this.
On the X and Y, it'd be something like this, right? You need a lot of pixels to fill it in, and it will be a little bit slower, but it gives it kind of like a full feeling, kind of like, I don't know, like Blade Runner aesthetic. This kind of looks like that. I was playing around with it, and I kind of like the idea of it being like it's in the future, but like it's not so far in the future that they've figured out all the kinks yet. So it's got this, I don't know, like maybe there's just like a limitation of the technology that makes it so that there's less pixels going vertically than there are elsewhere. So it's kind of like this like analog CRT kind of feel. Obviously totally up to you, but this is the setting that I went with. Now, if you wanted to stop here, you could, because that is basically a hologram, but make sure you hit subscribe before you go so you don't miss out on new tutorials. But something that could help this really stay grounded in reality is adding something that we see in real life, which is a light beam, somewhere where the hologram is being projected from. You could create it very quickly just using like a tapered cylinder and like a gradient texture, but since we're using the geometry nodes and we've got it already set up, it's not actually that much work to have a projector light beam that actually matches with the pixels that are on the screen. So just to help separate a lot of this mess over here, I'm just going to select just this last bit here. This is the part where it's actually creating the pixels. So I'm going to hit Shift P, which is a hotkey that you can only use if you've got the Node Wrangler tool enabled, but I highly recommend enabling it. I'm just going to call that frame.
Shift P. I guess I already activated this thing, so we can just Shift P. No, wait. Shift P. How can I call it? pixels. I mean, it looks a little bit uncomfortable for me, but how can I adjust this? Edit? No. Anyway.
Pixels. Okay, so now this part over here, this is the part where it's actually created all the individual points before we put the pixels on it. And from here, what I want to do is create another instance on points node.
Move. Maybe that's why he moved it here. What is this? Is it needed? I guess not. Instance on points. And
then where it's got the instance, I'm looking for curve.
I guess I can make my face a little bit smaller, right? Something like this. Anyway, it's visible. Let me just check on the stream. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let me just check some intro. I mean, some information. Okay, looks fine. Let's continue. Yep.
Line, which if I visualize,
Curve line. Curve line. Very nice. Instance.
like that, looks
Where does it go here? Instance. Instance and instance go to geometry. Like this. And now our torus looks like shit. Piece of shit. Very nice.
like this. So we've now got on each of those points a curve line that is roughly, what is it, 1.
Okay.
meter length curve. Doesn't really matter. We're going to change that length later. But most importantly, it has spawned in.
Alright. You made it like this, so at least it's visible.
In a bunch of curves at the origin point of each of those pixels. When really what we want is we want to change the position of those curves. So right in here, after that instance on points, I'm going to add in a set position node. Okay, and then here where it's got position, I can add in any
set position. Here.
new object for those new curves to be spawned at. So first of all, I need a new object. It could be an empty, but in my case, I actually want to make it something that looks like a light bulb, like kind of glowing and emitting things from. So I'm just going to make it a UV sphere, which I will scale all.
UV sphere. Let's make a UV sphere. Why not? I mean, we need to make it here. And UV sphere as to scale. After this we move it like here, right here. How do we put it in the middle? I forgot. Wait, it's some kind of set origin, center of mass. No. No, this is not what I want. Set position, it should be something like this. Snap, parent. Anyway, it's at origin. No, I'll just make like this. Later we will figure out what to do with this. Okay, just stay here. What's next?
All the way down, apply the scale. It's going to make it a UV sphere, which I will scale.
What we can do is to like this. Take this one. How to put the cursor back? Let's just check. How to put cursor in the center. In Blender. Shift C. Okay, now it's in the center. Shift C. Okay, now I know. UV sphere has to scale. Perfect. Next.
All the way down, apply the scale, then select my object. I might as well click the pin button.
Apply the scale. So he makes it much smaller. How did he apply scale?
Glowing and all the way down, apply the scale from. So I'm just going to make it a UV sphere, which I will scale all the way down, apply the scale, then select my object. I might as well, which I will scale all the way down, apply the scale, then select my
Control A, apply the scale. Control A. Somebody doesn't know.
My object, I might as well click the pin button so it doesn't keep disappearing. And then I'm going to drag down that new sphere that I just added in here. And I'm going to take the, not the geometry, but the location of that and put that into the position input. Okay, so now all of those thousands and thousands of curves have spawned just
Location to position. So we take our sphere, location to position. And what we have now is some real shit happening. Great. Perfect. Just perfect. Next.
just on that 1 point straight up. But this is the big brain moment. If we use this selection input of our set position node, if I drag out and I type in end point selection.
How can I know all this? Endpoint. Endpoint selection. Very nice. Now we have again this piece of shit stick. Okay.
Okay, and then set the start size to 0. There's something else we need to do first. But what this has told us is that we've said, yes, we want the start position to be this point, but only the start position of the initial point of the curve. So one end of the curve, whereas keep the rest of the curve, the final point of the curve, where it was. Now, the reason this has not worked is because, just like up here,
start size 0.
realize instances. So right in between here and here, I need a realize instance nodes, realize instances, type it in, and there.
Oh shit. Okay. F3. Realize instances right here, and we have this piece of something. What next?
There we go. So all the curves are now doing exactly what we wanted to. By the way, big shout out to Arendelle for really a lot of help on this tutorial. I just keep pinging him questions on Twitter and he helps me figure out how to do a lot of this stuff. So shout out to his channel. If you want to check his out, I'll put it up there as well. Now, if we were to try to render this right now, we would see nothing. Those curves will not render until we give it a mesh, because meshes and volumes are the only things that will actually render. So right after here, I need to type in curve to mesh, okay? Which still will not have given it a mesh.
Curve to mesh. Maybe we can also have some node to make nothing into the final result. Just one node. Just what I want, I take from my brain and make the final result in Blender. I guess it will be very nice node.
Because a mesh doesn't really have any thickness until you tell it to. So in here where it's got profile curves, I'm looking for curve circle.
It's impossible to know this. You can just only see it in the tutorial like this. You cannot think about such things by yourself, it's impossible. Curve circle. Curve circle. Oh my god. What is this? What is this?
Drop that in. And now we finally got something. It's added in a bunch of curves with a radius of 1 meter each. So let's dial that way down.
001. I mean, it's already glowy. It's nice. 001. Oh, look at that. My PC is lagging already so much.
There we go. We've got some tubes, and then let's set the resolution to 3. So that is basically each of these tubes is now just a 3 vertice tube.
Resolution of 3. Yeah, now it's much better. What if we make 6? Same, right? It's impossible to make by yourself. You cannot just think about such things. It's impossible.
Cube, which is the minimum amount to really to render, and then I just want the size to be the same size as my pixels. So speaking of which, we're currently just looking just at that part of the pipeline, but I can now add in a join geometry node in here and connect it up.
Drawing geometry. Okay. Oh, what happened? Drawing geometry and like this and like this. Oh, drawing when I'm joining. Alright. Nothing changes. I mean, I think 6 is too much. Let's just make it 3. Anyway, it's laggy. Alright.
So now I've got my little pixel there, which means I just need to dial this back until they are roughly the same size. I mean, you could just get it close, but you know, I'm a person of precision, so I want it to match. There we go. Okay, cool.
Oh shit. Too much. 3. I guess 2 is better. Yeah, let's make it 2.
Now, it's rendering, but it doesn't look very pretty, and that's because it's just given it like a default material, because just like before, we have to use a set material. So material, set material, drop this in, and I want to give it a new material.
So this is our sphere. We give it new material.
So I'm going to call this beams. Type in
beams.
bin beams. And then let's go to the shading tab, rendered view mode. Principled is overkill. I don't want principled. All I want is, first of all, an emission shader, which if I drop it in here, will look like this. Not very pretty. Now, what we really want is much like light. We want some light as they're sort of like...
Be right back. I'm here. Okay.
Overlapping, it makes the beam
Let's
more powerful,
continue.
right? That's really what we want. So
Yeah.
you would think that, like, if you just, you know, dialed back the emission, that it would do that effect, but it's not. And that's because light, it's light, but it's also transparency. So we need to mix the emission with a mix shader and transparency.
Mix shader. Where can I find this? Okay, let's make easier. Why it's not here? Oh my god.
But it's also transparency. So we need to mix the emission with
Shader, mix shader. Why I cannot find it here? Wait. We need to go. We need to go to the shading. Wait.
Principled is overkill. I don't want principled. All I want is, first of all, an emission shader, which if I drop it in here, will look like this.
Why it's already here? Alright, why not? Shader, mix shader. Transparency, blah blah blah. Where is it? Where is it? Transparency, blah blah blah.
It's not very pretty. Now, what we really need more permission that it would do that transparent with a mix shader and
BSDF. I'm not even asking what is the difference, but alright. Next.
transparency. Okay, but again, we can see that nothing has really happened. And that's because the other thing you need to do when you're using EV, if you've got a material that needs transparency, you need to set the blend mode here to be alpha blend. And now if I drag this up, we should eventually get to a point.
Material, alpha blend. Oh my god. This is so beautiful. Does it look like light? I don't think so. If I reduce. I cannot understand.
Point, haha, where the magic happens. Ta-da! And then really the magic is just,
Oh my god. I mean, I cannot really say that it makes some difference. What if I reduce the strand? I don't know. I don't really know.
tweaking this just a little bit until you can just see it, and you get this cool effect where you don't need to adjust it. You don't have to put a texture on a cylinder and try and fake.
I mean, it's not working. It's for me. Alpha blend. Maybe something wrong with the light. Maybe too much light. Where is our light? I don't know. I cannot see any difference. It's not looking like this. Anyway.
Make it like it actually matches the pixels on here. It's one of those like nice perks of doing things the right way, is you don't have to bother like fighting something that was just like fakery. It all actually matches, which is really cool. And guys, that is the hologram. If you want to,
I mean, it looks like it's too thick. Maybe I can reduce somehow the thickness, because it's really thick. Let me just check these lines. Guess I need to adjust this radius. Or maybe I even need to adjust the quantity of these lines. But how? This one? No. Point.
to make it look even cooler, you could add a floor underneath it, add a lamp over it so that the glow affects its surroundings. And for a quick and dirty sci-fi cage, you can add a cylinder, then add a wireframe modifier to that, which will turn the edges into lines. And everybody knows that lines look futuristic. Then with a little more massaging, you could end up with something like this. So that's it. As you can see, I went back and forth on which resolution of the hologram looks cooler, the vertical gap approach that looks kind of analog, or the full frame approach, which I thought looked a little cooler for this.
I don't know. In my case, it just looks like piece of shit. Anyway, we tried. I think I will save it, but this is not the work which I can be proud of. Still need to study a lot, but it's fine. Okay, let's save. Пончик. Голограма. Okay, I guess we can make some short break. So according to our schedule, from 10 to 11. Now it's already 11:30. So I guess it's reasonable. So yeah, let's just make a short break and read some news. News. Wait. Let's make like this for now. I'll adjust. And after this, we can start. Alright, let's see if it works. Yeah, I need to make my screen a little bit smaller than this, like this. Yeah. We ready? Let me just check on the stream. Okay, wait. I'm here again. All right. So let's start with this channel.
Зима 22-го вже частина світової історії. Ми витримали потужний ворожий удар. Показали, що значить бути українцем. Мати сміливість боротися за свою свободу. У жорстоких боях під сталевим дощем російських снарядів ми тримались за кожний клаптик своєї землі. Зупинили ворожу навалу і поховали міф про непереможність російської армії.
Тепер ми повертаємо своє. Ніхто і нічого не зупинить нас.
Ми обрали шлях воїнів і йдемо вперед.
Весь світ захоплено і з надією дивиться на нас.
Вітаю зі святом і дякую за службу. Разом переможемо. Слава Україні!
So yeah, 14th of October is a national day of the, how you say, of the defenders of Ukraine. Elon Musk cannot anymore support financially the Starlink in Ukraine. Oh man, fuck yourself, Elon Musk, and take your Starlinks together with you. Now he's asking Pentagon to support financially this Starlink program in Ukraine. Whatever. Another shelling of the Kharkiv area. 21:00 yesterday. It was bombed again. Right. Losses from the Russian side up to 14th of October. 64,000 dead Russians in Ukraine. More than 64,000. Almost 4,000 vehicles, 2,500 tanks, 1,200 how you call this? Actually, how you call the this thing? Okay, from English to reversed. BPLA UAV. Unmanned aerial vehicle. So more than, almost 1,200 destroyed unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV. It's just some greetings of one of the Telegram's channels, so it's not so interesting. And this is more interesting. So during 14th October 2022, at the 8 o'clock in the morning, it was reported 8 UAVs, Iranian UAVs, Shahid 1036, destroyed in the sky of the Ukrainian sky. На Білгородщині, як стверджує губернатор, зранку відпрацювала система ППО. Gained some бавовна in Belgorod region. It's in the Russia. Збройні РФ залишилися на оцінки високоточних ракет. So, according to our Ukrainian government, since 24th of February, when Russia started attacking Ukraine, there is only about 25-28% of the high accuracy rockets left in the Russian arsenal. Как будет арсенал, кстати? Arsenal. In the Russians' arsenal. And this is Zaporizhia. One of the rockets fell near the just like condominium. Living condominium.
Знайшли ще живого, слава Богу. 12 жовтня. Собака, привіт. А тут виходиш. І клас.
Wow.
Сюрприз. І він, сука, хер зірвався. А?
Just near the house. And it still can explode.
Ну, орки. Готуйтесь.
It still can explode. So this is like Ukrainian Spetsnaz. Let's see. So the forces of the special operations.
Хто ми такі? Ми йдемо туди, куди інші не наважуються. Ми дивимося в очі страху, щоб подарувати іншим надію. Тому що, минаючи всі складнощі війни, краще розуміємо ціну життя. Зберігаємо спокій в хаосі і працюємо далі, днями і ночами. Наша ціль – перевага якості над кількістю. Хто ми такі? Ми воїни України.
Радос Анушауска з міністром оборони ВТ повідомляє, що відремонтовані паузенхаубиці Панзерхаубиці 2000 повертаються в Україну. І скільки вони проробили, що вони вже з ремонту їдуть. Їх тільки дали нещодавно. So the Latvian Minister of Defense of Lithuania told that they repaired some amount of the Spandar Haubitze 2000 artillery systems, and they are coming back to Ukraine. Yeah, everybody just celebrating the 14th of October, the day of the defenders of Ukraine. This guy destroyed 4 rockets which were coming from the Russian territory to Ukraine to destroy our infrastructure. Only one guy destroyed 4 rockets. That's nice. Good job. Celebration, celebration, again celebration, celebration from the children. So removing the mines in the how you call this? The occupied territories. Looking for mines. So it's like Russians just left this armory.
Я побачив, похоже, щось на связь.
This is also some left armory from the Russians and the occupied territories. Lend-Lease. Thank you, Russians, for Lend-Lease. Celebrations again. This is Ukrainians. Ukrainian militaries.
Я захищаю батьківщину.
Ось наша славна Україна.
СПГ.
Ми захищаємо батьківщину. А ми тою червону калину підіймемо. А ми нашу славну Україну. Гей, гей, розвеселимо.
Я захищаю батьківщину.
Ми захищаємо батьківщину.
захищає батьківщину. А ми тою червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну країну, гей-гей, розвеселимо.
Some songs. Some things left by Russians. Their shelters. Look at this mess. Soviet Union. These guys are still living in Soviet Union. Alright, what else? Bombings in Mykolaiv. Some drones in Kiev region. Summit in the Kazakhstan. And this piece of human is also there. It's quite a lot of people here. It's like all Asian countries. Okay. Oh god, can't see how many I said voted for Russia. 4. Believe me. Some trolling from Ukrainian side in United Nations. Some petition for a visa regime with the Belarus get 25,000 votes. So now president should check if he can make something with it or refuse. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Russia is bombing itself. This is the Russian city, and they just bomb themselves. Some rocket bombing again. To the west and center areas. Lviv region. I mean, it's for yesterday. It's a little bit old information. So in the soonest time, NATO will give to Ukraine 100 of special stations for countering the UAVs, which Russia is actively using to bomb our territories. That's good. some counter-missile systems from Spain. I don't know, what is it? Again, bombing of the Belgorod region. Okay, our 15 minutes break is almost ended. Some engine troubles with the ship in the Bosphore region. Losses. Yeah, almost all the same. We are just following recommendation, and this is correct. We don't need such morons to coordinate with our country. Fuck you. All right. So our break is finished. So let's continue. But what are we going to continue with? I don't know. I don't know. But we will figure out. Maybe. All right, we back to studying. And what are we going to study now? Let's see. Okay, we checked how to make a hologram. I wanna check how to make blue. No. How to blur part of image in OBS Studio. How to pixelated image quality. Okay, let's check.
What's up, guys? In this tutorial, I will show you how to fix a blurry or pixelated stream when using OBS Studio on your PC. This should be quite an easy tutorial. For more information, click on the first link in the description below. Open up OBS Studio and navigate to your settings. Under Output, make sure to set the output mode to Advanced. Making changes.
I guess it's advanced. Yes, it's advanced.
To these settings will in turn prevent your stream from being blurry or pixelated. First of all, make sure to set your encoder according to your hardware. For mid to high-end NVIDIA graphics card users, set this option to.
Alright, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. Okay, wait. What if I do like this? Filters. Резкость. Let's also add some chroma key. No. Wait, we don't need this. This one we don't need. Filters. Add. Add. What is loot? No need. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Stream fix. Let's check stream FX. Stream FX for OBS. La 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 la. Go to download. No, like this. Assets. So what do I need to download? I guess Windows. That's what I need. Okay, let's download. I guess I need to stop streaming for this. Okay, I will return back soon. No worries.